After one of the worst episodes in TV history, could Fear bounce back and give us more than just Nick? Or would it be absolute pish? Let's go, baby. Los Muertos, are you ready? Are you with me tonight? We kick off with Nick, though. He's in an infirmary in La Colonna. So apparently he's not in Tijuana, which we fought in last episode, but let's be real. Whether he be in La Colonna or bloody Mexico, Tijuana, Colombia, Brazil, it didn't matter because the episode was shit. I don't care about locations, man. Locations should be the last thing on your mind if a TV show's good, shouldn't it be?
Yeah, location's not relevant.
It's really not relevant unless like you're watching a World War II movie or something and it's taking place in fucking Colombia, which would make no sense. But anyway, right, he wakes up, he's walking through the town, and you would almost think here that the apocalypse hasn't happened and that we're alright, wouldn't you?
Yep.
I think it looks... It's weird how Fear gives you the sort of vibe that one episode it looks like this apocalypse has been going on for like decades, and in the other episodes it looks like it hasn't actually happened. Like you see that when they're on the boat, it feels like it's been going on for ages. Then you get to Mexico with the border, and it feels like Mexico have completely got it completely under control. And then you get here, and again it feels like that. You've even got her mentioning to Nick that, one of our guys get bit, but he's actually immune, which later on in the episode, Nick notices the scar on his shoulder. So what do you think about that? The fact that we're in season 2 here, and Fear is already kind of hinting at the fact people are immune.
I don't like it.
Especially with the fact, bear in mind, this season 2 is taking place at, season 6 of The Walking Dead? And The Walking Dead hadn't had a sniff of immunity.
Yeah, plus The Walking Dead had quite a big time skip by this stage, whereas Fear hasn't really had anything.
Yeah.
I think it's very early in the show to be talking about immune. Plus, in the original Walking Dead, we got introduced to doctors. We haven't seen any doctors in Fear. Yeah, we've had like little doctors and whatever.
This wee guy, Alejandro, the doctor Alejandro.
But we've not had like Dr. Jenner, you know what I mean? Dr. Jenner was like a top doctor.
With a big facility
in
behind
the CQC or whatever.
The CDC.
Like, we've only had like nurses essentially in Fear the Walking Dead, so I'm not quite sure how they've got closer to discovering a cure or at least discovering immunity than the original show did.
Yeah, we cut this guy, walks out with a knife, steps at the back of a school bus, cuts his hands, and then he gets ate by walkers. We're thinking at this point, what is going on here? Apparently, this was a sacrifice, as Nick looks on. Nick is probably just raging that this guy got to cover himself in all the infected blood when he was getting fucking ate, wasn't he? I think that's what's going on here.
Sacrifice for what, though?
I know, but I don't know. Like, it's never explained. I just feel like in Fear, in The Walking Dead, it's like, see anybody that's like a 10th Hispanic, let's just give them this spooky shit. Like, they can speak to the dead, they hear voices. That is literally what they do. Like, they all feel the same. Like, see everything that Daniel had shown up to this point, it literally feels like everybody in this community does the exact same thing. So, the thing that made Daniel so-called special just feels like the norm in this community. That's what I get from it. We are in Tijuana, though, with Madison, Alicia, Strand, and Ophelia. And I feel like at this point, Strand has let these uns drive around searching for Nick. You could maybe say they're looking for Travis and, what's his name? Chris. But do you know it's about time Strand took control of the ship here, even though it's a boat?
And do what? Risk being on his own?
Well, you say risk being on his own. I know you could, strength in numbers. Do you think Strand carrying these 3 deadbeats around is really good for him? Or do you know, I feel like Strand would be far more effective on his own.
Would he?
Yeah, I think so.
What's he going to do? Drink fucking martini by himself?
He might do that. The Abigail is no longer in sight. They managed to get to a hotel, though. Looks like it's completely overrun, but when they get in, it's alright. We're safe. It's the Resorto Beach Hotel. And instead of doing anything worthwhile here, Strand and Madison get drunk, and despite Strand not showing any things prior to, like when he met Thomas at the, the resort Thomas was at, he's became extremely gay here, hasn't he?
He's extremely feminine.
Extremely feminine. The way he's pouring the glasses, even the wee jump over the bar table, man, it's like, what's he doing?
So if he's found his, best forever gay friend or something like that, I don't know.
The Southern Jezebel or whatever he called Madison. Man, and it's like, even the fact he knows all this much about the drinks and just the way he's talking, the way he's holding the glass and like the palm of his hand, it's like, what the fuck is this? Strand literally looked like the most masculine character this show had. In terms of like, being in their prime, because Daniel, alright, he showed a wee bit of masculinity, but then, he's like fucking 65.
I don't know
done.
why everyone refers to Daniel as old. He certainly doesn't look that old.
Yeah, I know, but everyone in the show refers to him as old, so
Yeah,
I
but I
may
don't
as
know
well.
why. I mean, even when you see him move, and he doesn't strike me as someone that would be like easily overpowered or like outfought or outgunned or whatever. Like when I think someone when I think of someone as an old man, it's like someone who's kind of weak and defenseless, and I don't see Daniel as that way. Yeah, he might be older than a lot of people, but he's not an old man.
No, he's a man in his early 50s. That's the sort of vibes I get. Maybe mid 50s.
Aye.
I mean, there's loads of people at that age, man, who would still kick your ass. And I mean, there's people past that age that would still kick people's ass. I mean, let's be real. What age was Merle in the show? To me, it was like late 40s at the earliest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and there's other people, man. You've got Negan now. I mean, I bet you Negan in this Maggie and, like, his show. Well, you try to tell me Negan, he must be nearly into his 50s if he's not. Especially if they're trying to go down the gimmick of, here, it's been like 20 years in this apocalypse. There's no way in fuck Negan's not in his 50s by now. So when this whole thing started, he was in his 20s? Come on, man. Then you get a perception of age. But, Daniel's 53 and he's old and he's frail. But see these women that are like 4'9", they can fucking lay the smack down, can't they?
Why, they're good fighters, but Daniel's a frail old man who can't handle himself.
And talking of frail, I think Nick looks like the most frailest bastard out. Maybe because he's a junkie, but Louisiana enlists Nick's help in a mission. She's like, right, one thing, you keep quiet, comprende? And then, as they're walking to the location, which is a supermarket, all he does is not keep quiet, and all they do is talk. So what was the whole point of this heads up for her?
Maybe she meant when we get there.
Maybe that's what she meant. But see, in reality, these two, right? She stabs a walker up against the bus. There's about 100 walkers in this area, and then they just smear blood.
Is it a compound yard?
Yeah, like they smear like this tiniest amount of blood, like the army do when they put the black face paint on. And what the walkers don't notice them. This is ridiculous, and you know what? It's almost...
It wouldn't matter. Once the walkers see you acting like a human, they're going to block onto you anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and it's like... But see,
it's not like you can do fucking jumping jacks, and all of a sudden, as soon as the walker gets to within a foot of you, put a little bit of blood on your cheek, and the walker's going to do a 180 and walk away.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of blood. It is nothing major. And then, when Rick and Glenn in episode 2 covered themselves in guts... A wee bit of rain, and what the walkers automatically knew, here, those two aren't us. Come on, man. It's just inconsistencies, and to think this actually took place, well, it does take place in the same universe. You've got Robert Kirkman. You feel like if Robert Kirkman was all that he is made out to be, he would have sorted things like this out. This is big issues, in my opinion, man. I hate inconsistencies.
Does he give a fuck, though? Was he not pretty much gone by this stage?
I don't think he was. He still gets credit and all that good stuff.
He gets credited because it's his series. He's the creator. Of course he's going to get fucking credit. They can't uncredit him.
Right, well, let's say he ain't involved.
I'm pretty sure Robert Kirkman, this would have been after season 6 of The Walking Dead. I think that's around about the time he was in legal negotiation battles.
But this would be like Better Call Saul if Mike was played by a different actor, man. He was 7 foot tall and black. It just wouldn't make any sense, and it's... ridiculous. But we get to the supermarket. There's local gangsters there. They're playing cards. You kind of get the feeling that these guys kind of run this entire area. And they go in. But guess what? You're not allowed 2 trolleys for a bag of medication.
Well, you used to be allowed 2.
Right.
You're not, for some reason, you're not allowed 2
you only allowed 1. And I think this makes sense because it's not like there's a truck that constantly brings... These supplies are running low, so...
Plus, wouldn't all the good stuff be taken by now?
Yeah.
Louisiana... makes it sound like she's been here quite a lot of times. So it's like...
And surely all the good stuff, right, would be took by these guys that run it. Surely if there was anything worthwhile in here...
they're going to keep it hidden and just give you the crap. So they go around, they take what they need. Nick tries to get a chocolate bar, but she says, no, we're only coming for what we need. Even though this chocolate bar would easily fit on top of the trolley, I mean, you could balance it on top of the water, on top of the trolley, but whatever they do.
It's not even that, right? You could lift something and put it under. Are you trying to tell me in this shopping cart he could not put it anywhere? It was filled to the brim. It wasn't, man. See if anyone's ever been shopping, any small object can get squeezed in somewhere, but what does this stupid prick do? He fucking stuffs it down the back of his ass crack. No idea why he's done this, because he could have just put it in the trolley, and as they're leaving, he gets confronted. And what a stupid thing to do. It's almost like Nick did this on purpose. But I don't think he did. I feel like he just genuinely wanted to do it so he could give this, like, chocolate bar or whatever it was, this little girl. He is confronted by these gangsters, and realistically, this should be him done. He should be absolutely dead at this point, but guess what? He's not dead. It's alright for him because he threatens the leader. Again, you'd think he'd be absolutely mass murdered for that, but no, he's not.
Well, he doesn't really threaten the leader. He points out that the leader's sister's ill and suffering with withdrawals, and he basically claims he's got the medicine that she needs.
And
therefore they come, and he says, but you're only going to get it if we get another trolley. He doesn't threaten anybody.
Well, he's threatening his sister's life.
That's not how I would describe it. Like,
well, he's leveraging his sister's life. How about that?
Well, he's making a valid point. He's making a deal. He's negotiating. Not threatening anybody.
Point is, I think this leader guy should be fucking cutting Nick's head off.
Well, he was going to.
Well, he should. He should.
The sister card. So.
The sister. I mean, this just looks like downtown San Francisco. This place, doesn't it? Just tents, shite smeared on the walls, and just a bunch of jobbers lying on the floor, doesn't it? It's a sad state of affairs, America, at the minute. And that's what this reminded me of. As we cut back to the hotel, we have got Ophelia and what's the daughter called? Alicia. They're going in the hotel rooms. They go into one room thinking, hey, why is there no walker? Turns out a guy hung himself. Ophelia's like, he was probably tired of surviving. Alicia's like, here, we got to survive. She's like, well, let's not pretend that we're going to make it and survive. Just more filler. This is shit. Why are Strand and Madison getting drunk on the bottom floor? I'll tell you why. It's just to set up a plot thing later down the line, so when these walkers start falling off the roofs, they can come in and confuse them. Like, why are they not going up? Why can't they just take drink with them and go in the hotel room that's safe and drink? How fucking stupid is these two getting drunk down here in the bar?
Why not look for supplies? Look for things they can use.
Yeah, like, you see if Madison's got such a fucking problem with Alicia going off here with Ophelia. Why doesn't she go with her? Makes no sense for her not to go with her. Alicia then gets a shower because guess what? There's hot water here. Walkers start piling off the roof. She looks out. Oh no, this ain't very good. And then you've got Madison and Strand just looking. Madison's like taking a psycho, throwing fucking bottles at the hanging Strand's just like doing like the gayest laugh of all time. Doesn't make any sense. What happened to Strand? Think he's going to be top of season 2 characters?
Probably not.
To be honest, like, I mean, I'm making a case for anyone else. Could you think of anyone else off the top of your head?
Maybe someone we haven't been introduced to yet.
Maybe someone we haven't been introduced to yet, but the infected, who for some reason, you know, would probably be crippled from the fall, and also just the ones outside, they completely overrun the bar, where you've got like a U-shaped bar, and they're all surrounding it, and then you've got Madison and Strand in the middle. How would they get this overrun this quickly?
Multiple entry points.
Yeah, but they all come in for the one way.
Nah, there was some coming in for the front door, and then some came in for the back.
What, is that what happened?
Yeah, there was some coming in for the front of the hotel, and then there was others coming in for the back where they fell off the balconies.
Fair enough, I got it wrong. Then we have Nick. He joins the congregation of, would you say it was a funeral of this guy that did the sacrifice at the start of the episode? I don't know. He does notice, though, the scar on Alejandro's shoulder. Apparently, this is where this guy get bit, so who knows if this guy's immune or whatever, or if it was a bit from a dog.
He tells Nick that he's entitled to stay as long as he wants, but if he ever puts his people in danger again, he will kill him. This is what a threat is. This is a threat. This guy has threatened to kill Nick if he steps out of line and basically puts his entire camp at risk. So, yeah, that's what happened there. We also had Alicia like looking out the window when the walkers were falling off, and I think originally you're supposed to believe it was Ophelia because she was looking for Ophelia. She was wondering where Ophelia was, and then we see some body flying off the balcony. So yeah, at first I thought it was Ophelia. It could be Ophelia. We still don't know where Ophelia is. Ophelia at this point is missing.
No thing. Who actually cares if Ophelia's jumped? I don't care. You don't care. Daniel's not around. I've got a feeling Daniel wouldn't be around like season 5.
Well, I mean, I would say I care because there's not that many people left. I mean, it's not like you've got a massive roster of characters here. Like Ophelia's probably in the top 6.
That's bad though. That's an issue. That's a real issue.
That's an issue. Like so.
And again, we didn't get anything for Travis or Chris.
Yeah, no Travis, no Chris now for 2 episodes in a row. I feel like they're doing it a little bit too early in this show. When you look at The Walking Dead never started really doing like individual or like group episodes until season 3. And even then,
It was justified.
and it was still, you still have massive communities, so you had large amount of characters on each episode. And then it wasn't until they got into season 4 where they started doing smaller, they started doing like episodes focused on smaller groups. But it seems like Fear the Walking Dead are already just focusing on smaller groups, and it's like I don't know why they are doing that, because the group they've got
They don't
is
have the
small
cast to do
already.
it.
I don't think Nick should have had his own episode. I get the group split. The group is split up at the moment, and that's fine. But I just don't see why they can't cover the entire group in each episode, and just switch between scenes. I don't understand why we went 2 episodes without seeing Travis and Chris. I don't understand why we got a whole episode dedicated to Nick. To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, you can have different stories going on, you can have different locations, but there's no need for a certain location or a certain character to just skip 2 episodes. You could easily squeeze it in to the same episode, but they're not doing that.
And the problem is, so right, with The Walking Dead, the ratings were going up. See, by season 3, they've already established like characters.
But my point is,
Who do they honestly think's established as a character to carry an episode? No one. The ratings have only skyrocketed to the floor, man. So who at AMC genuinely thought, here, we'll give Nick a full episode, right? And see, when I say they gave Nick a full episode, go check out the roof. He did fucking nothing. He walked about the desert for 45 minutes. Come on.
yeah, I mean, but even in season 2 of The Walking Dead, they weren't having Shane and Rick getting a solo episode. They'd maybe have Shane and Rick breaking away from the group and going out together on a mission, but they would still cut between Shane and Rick and the rest of the group. They weren't just dedicating an episode solely to like 2 out of the entire group, but for some reason Fear the Walking Dead has decided to do that. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think these characters are strong enough to have entire episodes focused on them.
But that's the problem with The Walking Dead,
so.
though, because this would be like in season 2, man, if they were given like Maggie a full episode to herself. See new characters or characters that just aren't quite, the full product yet. They need to rub off other characters. Now, I think you could argue in this show, there's no one in this show who could give the rub to people in this show. So that's a valid point. But there is a reason why the ratings died, man. There is no way when the ratings are already going down fast, how is giving Nick a standalone episode going to improve the ratings?
I don't think I've seen any character get a standalone episode and I thought the episode was good. Every time there's a standalone episode, the episode's shit.
Yeah.
If you look at Morgan, season 6, episode 4,
Eastman, man, what are you doing?
that was fucking terrible. I just don't
Oh,
get
but
it.
that was brilliant. I showed you. Morgan didn't see red and Eastman died. Absolute garbage, man. But Morgan's going to save Fear the Walking Dead.
You know what? I did think this episode was better though than the previous one. It wasn't great, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I enjoyed it a bit more than the last one.
I'll give it a 2. I think a 2.5 is probably fair. And to be honest, I don't think Fear's going to be getting any high ratings from us anytime soon. But you never know. I feel like there's a chance for it to do it. It is in these earlier seasons. So until next time, that's it for Los Muertos. And until then, peace.